Good afternoon. I'm Yogina Katrina. It's that time of day where I like to transition between my work day and being at home. It's time to reduce some stress and wash away any tension that's built up during the day. This is another perfect time for another 10 minutes of yoga. Won't you join me? Take a moment to set up your table pose first. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Now uncurl your toes, bring your big toes together, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, press back to child's pose. Take a moment to adjust. Let your spine round and let your forehead connect with your mat. If your forehead doesn't come all the way down to the mat, stack fist on top of fist and rest your forehead on the back of your fists. Here in child's pose, take some nice deep breaths into your lungs. Feel your lungs expanding into your ribs and feel the stretch deep into the rib cage. As you exhale, lower belly releases and you feel the gentle embrace of the ribs, the softening of the back side of the body. Another deep breath in, belly presses into your thighs, lungs, ribs expand. And as you exhale, release the belly. Another deep breath in, exhale, release. Now reach your hands towards the top of the mat. Place your hands, fingers spread wide. And as you inhale, come back up to table pose. Curl the toes under. Nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, lift the hips and press back to downward dog. Arms nice and strong. As you inhale, lift the heels nice and high. Exhale, sink down into the heels a little bit more. Heels don't need to connect with the mat. You just want to lengthen the back of the legs. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, sink the heels towards the floor. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, release the heels. One more breath. Inhale, heels lift nice and high. Exhale, heels drop down. Next breath in, lift the heels, bend the knees, bring your knees all the way to the mat. Inhale, and as you exhale, uncurl the toes, press back towards your heels, coming into child's pose. Now keep your hands connected with the mat, but soften through the arms and the shoulders. Really let your hips sink towards your heels. And take 3 deep breaths here in child's pose. Really focusing on making your next inhalation longer than the last. And just feel the movement of your breath. On your next breath in, slowly bring yourself back up to table pose. And as you exhale, lift to downward dog. Push into the floor with the ball of the left big toe. Really ground down through that left foot and float the right leg up. Now keeping the arms nice and strong, biceps hugging towards each other, bend the right knee and begin to open up your right hip towards the ceiling. Letting that right foot, right leg feel nice and heavy. Feel a deep stretch from your right hand all the way along the side of your right body to your right knee. Then slowly bring that right hip back to center and right foot to the floor. Inhale, lift the heels, bring your knees all the way down to the mat. Uncurl your toes, bring your big toes together. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, press back to child's pose. Once again, keeping your hands connected with the mat, but just loosening the grip. Arms nice and heavy. 3 deep breaths in. And 3 deep exhalations out. Really squeeze your belly button in towards your spine as you exhale. 1 more breath in. 1 more breath out. Next breath in, bring yourself back up to table pose. Curl the toes under, and as you exhale, downward dog. Arms nice and strong. Push into the floor with the ball of the right big toe, and as you inhale, float the left leg up. Being careful not to sink into that right elbow, bend your left knee, and slowly open that left hip up towards the ceiling. Feeling a stretch all the way from your left baby finger down your left ribs to your left knee. Nice deep breath in. Then slowly bring the left hip back to center, left foot to the floor. Inhale. And as you exhale, just find a little more room in the backs of the legs, the length of the spine, to sink a little deeper into your downward dog. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bring the knees all the way down to the mat. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Curl your toes under. Take a nice breath in. Push into the floor with the right hand and the left knee. Soften between the shoulders with your exhalation. Next breath in, sweep the left arm straight out to the side, even open up a little bit towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, thread your left hand, left arm under the right side of your body. Bring your left shoulder, left ear all the way to the floor. Adjust your right hand so you feel perfectly balanced. Now push your right hand into the floor. Pull back with the right shoulder. Reach with the left hand. Feel that deep stretch. That's the spot where you get those knots right underneath your shoulder blades after sitting at your computer keyboarding all day, clicking the mouse. Push your right hand into the floor, lift the left shoulder, left ear, and as you exhale, come back to table pose. Push into the floor with the right knee and the left hand. As you exhale, soften between the shoulders. Inhale, right arm sweeps up. Even open up through the shoulders, turning to look up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, thread your right arm under the left side of your body. Right shoulder, right ear coming all the way to the floor. Adjust your left hand so you feel perfectly balanced and safe. You're not going to fall. Now push your left hand into the mat. Pull back with the left shoulder and reach a tiny bit more with the right fingertips. Nice deep stretch. From the right shoulder to the left hip this time. I can feel those knots disappearing already. Left hand presses into the floor, and as you exhale, come back to table pose. And roll onto your back. Once on your back, take a deep breath in. Fill your belly with your breath, and as you exhale, allow your lower back to sink into the floor. Walk your heels towards your hips. Get a sense that your ankles are right underneath your knees, and your feet are hip distance apart. Lift your toes, spread them wide, and then place them down. Bend your elbows so your fingertips are pointing up towards the ceiling. Spread your fingers wide. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, pull your left shoulder blade underneath you. Tuck it in. On your next breath, do the same thing with the right shoulder. Feel your heart beginning to lift as your shoulder blades press into the floor. Haggis. Now adjust slightly. You want to tilt your head back just a tiny bit so the tops of your ears point towards the floor and your throat softens. Already you should be beginning to feel a slight curve in the upper back. Now push into the floor with the entire back of your arm from your shoulder blade to your elbow. And the heart begins to lift even more. Now engage through the soles of the feet. Arms are pressing down, elbows pressing down. Now push down with the feet, begin to lift the hips up, keeping the throat nice and soft. And 3 nice deep breaths. Just feeling, noticing what it's like to be slightly upside down. Little pressure on the shoulders and the neck to help release some of the tension, forcing you to let go. On your next exhalation, slowly roll down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Release your arms, let your palms come to the mat. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, soften through the back side of the body. Let your lower back sink into the floor. Release the tension from your shoulders. Now it's time to move to the wall for my favorite pose. I'll meet you there. To come into legs up a wall pose, Viparita Karani, you first want to lie down right up against the wall, with your back side literally against the wall. And then you roll onto your back, floating the legs up, arms out to the sides. Now you can stay here. This is a perfect variation. Or if you want to deepen the inversion, bend your knees, place the soles of your feet on the wall. Push into the wall with the soles of your feet, with your hips floating up. Place the pillow right underneath your lower back, and then drop the hips down. Open up the backs of the knees. Let your legs rest heavily against the wall. Arms out to the sides. Try not to resist the cushion or the pillow. Try not to resist the support underneath you. Sink into it. Nice deep breaths. Oh, I can hear the scratch of puppy feet. Music to my ears this time of day. You can stay here as long as you like. Don't be surprised if I'm still here next time I see you. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your day. It's all yours.